Hello, baseball fans. Big news is Eduardo Rodriguez is signed to be a Tiger. That is huge news for the Tigers. He's been signed on a 5-year, $77 million deal. I am really excited to hear this, as I am a Tigers fan myself and really love to see this move. The Tigers are going to be asking of him that he can kind of anchor the staff. He doesn't need to be their one, but he's got to kind of be one of the senior guys on their staff as of now if they don't sign any more other big free agents, though Justin Verlander is rumored. He is really nasty, has great stuff. Last year, his ERA was high, up in the low fours, but the reason for that is because he had a huge BABIP problem. He was getting BABIP'd to death. His defense sucked, so they weren't really saving him much. And, 386 batting average on balls in play is horrible if you're the pitcher. That means the hitters against you are getting extremely lucky. The other thing is he does a really good job, 87th percentile in average exit velocity. He does a good job of getting that soft contact. He loves that fastball. He's been using that around 40 or more percent of the time. He's absolutely nasty, and he gets to leave the AL East, which is a division of mashers. The AL Central is also kind of thought of as a joke division, as they only had one team finish over 500, and the AL East had 4 teams finish over 90 wins. Eduardo Rodriguez threw 157 2/3 innings in 2021. Pretty decent workload, especially after not playing at all in the 60-game season because he had myocarditis, which is kind of a heart problem. Very unfortunate. Luckily, he was okay. He also 76th percentile in K rate. As you can see in this video, these are a lot of his Ks from 2021. He really did a good job of getting Ks. That's one of the rare defensive plays that was well made behind him. He's going to be a good fit in Detroit. He said lots of good things about how he's excited to be with that culture in Detroit that is going to be a winning culture. This move could preclude a big move like Carlos Correa or possibly Justin Verlander becoming a Tiger. The Tigers are going to get one of those big shortstops anyway, and they'll pair well with Eduardo Rodriguez. The money is pretty good for him. The Tigers really aren't overpaying for him at all, which is something you'd like to see. Also, he has a player option after the first 2 years, so if he's just absolutely lights out for the first couple of years and he thinks he can get more money somewhere else, then he can opt out of his contract in the next 3 years. Don't know if that will happen. Hopefully he's performing well, but he could end up leaving if he performs too well. Tigers got him, though, locked in for 2 years. Along with that fastball, that's his cutter right there. That's a really nasty pitch, and he also has a very good changeup. Those are really the other 2 pitches besides his fastball that he likes to use. He does a good job of inducing weak contact, as I went over earlier. Jabs and I both had him going back to the Red Sox. Kind of surprised that he went to the Tigers, to be honest with you. He was definitely one of those guys that they shop, but I thought the Tigers would be more in the market of John Gray or possibly Marcus Stroman. It's been pretty predictable of what the Tigers were going to do. Everyone was thinking shortstop, pretty good pitcher, and then possibly a solid older pitcher, basically Justin Verlander, because weren't really thinking Max Scherzer to be a Tiger. Erod definitely belongs in kind of those winning teams. He would fit with just being the superstar on some lower level teams, but I think Erod wants to be a contender, and he is a competitor. Another thing with Erod is Comerica's really going to be the place to be. A lot of his homers that he gave up at Fenway aren't going to be homers in Detroit. Of the 20 homers that he gave up this year with the Red Sox, only 16 of them would have been gone as a Tiger. Big difference between those numbers, as 4 homers is really a lot. I mean, that's the difference between a 40 home run hitter and a 36 home run hitter. Both of them are impressive, but that would be big for Erod. America Park is where hitters go to die and pitchers go to live, and Fenway is the exact opposite. Here are some of Erod's highlights against the Tigers. He actually pitched really well against them in his one outing. I would grade this signing for the Tigers as an A, not an A+, considering I think possibly they could have gotten him for cheaper or maybe a little more years, and he's not the top starter in this free agent class, but I'd still give it an A. Erod, absolute stud. Happy that he is going to be a Detroit Tiger.